What's poppin', YouTube family? It's your boy J.O. back with another Validated Prison Stories episode. You know what it is, man. Go ahead and click that like, that bell, notification bell, so that you can be alerted the next time I drop this fire content. So today, I got a good one for you, and it's been a while since I've been on the screen, man. Appreciate y'all that been rocking with me. I ain't been feeling good. No, I ain't had that Rona. But you know, I'm better back into it. Also, some good news for my YouTube studio, as I will soon, hopefully, probably this next video, be having some decent equipment in here. So hopefully that gets, you know, the quality of my videos get a little bit better with that, you know, mic and stuff like that. So today, I'm gonna talk about some things that's been going on in the Washington State Department of Corrections, and I'm gonna be looking at my phone and also on the other computer here if I look this stuff up. Uh, so back in, let me see when this actually happened. So there was a law group called Columbia Legal Services, I believe is the name. Filed a petition with the Washington Supreme Court asking for mass incarcerated individuals to be released. They got denied about a week ago, but from what I heard and what I understand, there was people that did get out through a new bill that they passed, which is, I don't know how true it is. I'm gonna have to do some digging into it to find out, because it seems like everything takes like forever to get done when it comes to legislation up here. So I don't know how they all of a sudden just passed this within, you know, a matter of days and weeks. I don't get it, man. I don't know. But um so there was a so this happened on, I believe it happened on April 9th or April 8th or something like that. Um there was a there was an actual riot that took place on a yard that I was at. It was actually the last yard that I was on before I got released. Now we're talking about a minimum security unit. Okay, this happened at Monroe Correctional Complex. Actually happened in the MSU side of things, which is minimum security units. Um, this is the way it was addressed by one of the inmates' wives. The riot was the only way for us to be heard. Excuse me, that was a Monroe inmate that had said that to his wife. The riot was the only way for us to be heard, as the Monroe inmate speaks out about their coronavirus fears. Now, see, this is what happened. This guy an inmate in a minimum security unit at Monroe, wrote to a friend the week that this took place. And like I said, I believe this happened April. It happened the beginning of April. Anyways, he says that this week the prison was trying to move inmates to floors where there had previously been people sick with coronavirus. 6 people, now this is at the time, there's more now. 6 people at the Monroe prison have been diagnosed with the coronavirus in the last week. Like I said, this article was wrote April 9th. Um, we've been safe until now, but because of their lack of foresight and proper planning, now they need rooms for more vulnerable inmates, and they want us to go into the hot zone to make room for them. Uh, this inmate goes on to say that staff tried to bribe them with food from McDonald's. Really? Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. This stuff is just, you know, I I'm very, I did a video. On how clean prison really kind of is. And the main exception to that was when flu season hits, when anything that is easily transferable, through the air, through, whatever. It's a pretty clean environment. Guys do their best to take care of things to make sure it's all clean, and they it's the one thing that they do have control over, as far as when they can clean up and things like that. So it's crazy to me to think about the guys that's locked up in there, who in the unit that I was in was a minimum security unit. People got in that unit, you got 4 years or less to the gate. You're going home. You're not in a a cell or a cubicle or a unit with a guy that's got 50, 100 years or life. You're in a unit with guys that got 4 years and under who are trying to go home. It's a minimum security yard. They had a riot on this yard. They refused to sell in. They got shot with tear gas, with the percussion grenades, rubber bullets, everything. Okay, this went down on a minimum security yard, and it was over the lack of treatment being given to these guys because of this whatever is going on. You know what I mean? So I feel for the guys that's locked up in there, and if you don't have family on the outside, this is what what I spoke about in the other video I did. If you don't have family in there pushing for you guys, it's gonna be all bad for you. You know what I mean? So I feel bad for the guys that are locked up, you know, and don't have nobody to help them out. So yeah, it's bad up here, man. And it's going to be real interesting to see, you know, how this unfolds later on. I believe that if you I don't even know how I feel about it as far as I'm all for anybody getting out early, you know, as long as you haven't committed certain crimes. If you're a child molester of any kind, I don't think you should get out anytime soon. Um, if you've done anything against kids, period, anything. I don't care if it's sexual or non-sexual, but anything with a kid, you should be locked up. You know what I mean? So I believe that they should be able to, get out. If there's guys in there, these camps, they should be emptying these camps out. You know what I mean? If there's guys in there that have a release plan, that know what they're doing, they got an address, they got all their ducks in a row, let them out, man. They got a release date, let them out. We all know that's not going to happen. You know that would totally decimate the prison population. So and then they would have to figure out some way to fill these beds again, and so it would be a mass locking people up again. And they would it'd be locking people up for petty, stupid shit, which they already do to keep these beds full. But there needs to be something needs to be done. In a time like this, there needs to be protocol set. What to do in a situation like this. And lockdown in prison is nothing like a lockdown out here. We have the luxury of going outside, you know, if we want to. Yeah, there's a stay-at-home order in most of the country, even though now a lot of there's, it's being relaxed and loosened up. You know what I mean? But when you're in prison and you're on lockdown, you're not coming out your cell. You're getting fed in your cell. You're getting a shower maybe once every 3 days. You're not getting on the phone. You're not playing cards. You're not doing none of that. You're stuck in the cell 24 hours a day. You're not getting store, They're not running any type of activities of any kind. Church, school, nothing. You're locked down. You're really locked down. You're in the cell 24 hours a day. So, man, that sucks. I haven't heard from a couple of my homeboys, in a while. Not even through JPay, which is kind of odd because I normally, hear from them pretty regularly over JPay. And with JPay now, they have tablets that you can purchase, or your family can purchase for you. As a matter of fact, I got one. I got mine in my room. I have to bring it out maybe on one of these other videos. But it's a tablet, and it's no bigger than. It's a little bit bigger than wider than your phone. Okay, so it's a little bit wider than your phone, but and it doesn't have the capabilities of a smartphone of any kind. But what it does have is wireless Wi-Fi that you can send emails. It's a secured Wi-Fi network, and I don't know what all states have it. I just know Washington State has it. And this player, they call it a JP5 player, or JP5 something. Yeah, JP5. Anyways, and they also have a bigger tablet. They have like a 7-inch screen, or you can get the 4.5 or 5-inch screen. Anyways, you can send out emails on it. You can listen to music on it. You can play games on it, and it's actually pretty cool. If you're doing time, get to pop in your music, write an email. It's cool. It's cool. It really is. But I haven't even been getting messages from my homeboys, and usually I hear from them, once or twice a week. So they're on lockdown, and they're just, nothing's happening. No, there's no movement. There's nothing going on, and a lockdown on the inside is just, it's a totally different ballgame. It's we complain out here, oh, we're locked down, oh, social distancing of 6 feet, oh, this, oh, that. Well, I mean, in all actuality, it's still nothing like being locked up in prison, and it's definitely not like being, on lockdown in prison. Because when you're on lockdown in prison, man, that's what that means, man. You're on lockdown. You're not coming out your cell. You're not coming out of your cubicle, you know. And, if you're in solitary confinement, you better hope that you're cool with yourself. You better hope you get along. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be spending a lot of time with you. So, um, that's just that. That's the way it is. That's the breakdown of what's going on in prison on a lockdown. And I've never in my in my time on Earth seen something like this. I've never seen the economy shut down. I've never seen the things that are going on. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen this. This is unprecedented for, a lot of people. I don't think this has ever happened quite like this. Even with 9/11, all it did was shut down the airlines for a week or two. And then everything was, back to somewhat normal. This is crazy. It's insane. It's totally insane. And I don't know, man. I feel for the guys locked up. These guys that are getting this crap, I've seen it all over the internet, man. These guys just laying in bed, coughing, and, sick as a dog. And, man, there's no worse place to have this shit than laying inside of a prison bed, man. Nobody wants to be sick in prison, you know? And what sucks is the way these guys are getting this crap in there is from the staff. It's from the COs, the counselors, the cooks. You know what I mean? These guys are in prison doing their time, paying their debt to society. And oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to throw this shit at you too. And anybody that's done any time in any prison, I would assume, I don't know this to be factual, but I know in Washington State, the medical sucks. And I would almost bet that medical in any prison, in any state, is subpar. So, not only are we going to be away from our family and worry about our mom and our grandma and our, sister who's got, this and that underlying health condition. Now we got to worry about dealing with this shit ourselves, locked up in prison. And oh yeah, by the way, you're gonna sit in your cell 24 hours a day and eat all your meals in there. This is just terrible, man. It's horrible. This is a horrible time right now to be in prison. Any time is a bad time to be in prison, but right now, it's horrible. It's terrible. Better find you a couple good books. Man, you better hope you have them books, because you're not even getting. They're probably not. They're not even doing mail. When you're locked down in prison on a lockdown, man, you're not getting mail. You're not. You're just not. They're not gonna do it. And now because with this shit, they don't. They'll call it a security risk, and so we can't do it. They'll find any way they can to not do their job, to not give you what you're supposed to be able to have. You know, that security threat shit. I hate it. They label everything a security threat. That's how they get away with shit, taking away your rights as an inmate. It's terrible. A lot of people think that just because you don't go to prison you lose all your rights. You don't. You really don't. But we just hand them over because we think, oh, we're in prison, we don't have it. Man, that's not how things work. You know, I got a guy who has been locked up since 1977, and he told me some stories, man. And they used to rule and dominate. I'm talking about convicts in prison. They used to dominate the prisons. You know, they made the rules to a certain extent. You know, that life was much more in favor of the convict back in the day. And now what they've done is they've watered down the system so much with rats and pieces of shit and uh, people that are willing to conform to the rules and the regulations and all this, and what it's done is it's taken away the convict out of prison. And it, and when you do that, and the other thing that is taken away is it's taken away the unity amongst convicts, because there's power in numbers, no matter what you're doing. So if you take away the unity and the mass, the group of people that are demonstrating for whatever reason, then you've eliminated that situation. So, and they've effectively done that. And now convicts, they don't have many rights anymore because they pretty much gave them away voluntarily, and didn't even know they did. So yeah, right now, shitty time to be in prison. Very, very shitty. So yeah, I kind of got off on a little rambling session there, but I I'm gonna do some more videos. I guess they're really hitting people hard when you're bringing up this virus, and so I'm not trying to get off too much into it, but I wanted to touch a little bit, let you guys know that there was a riot up here in Monroe at the same yard that I was on. Um, I've heard they've let people loose. Um, but I don't know how true that is. I don't know anybody personally who's been let out. Uh, I'm gonna do some more research into that and find out. Um, and yeah, man, they had a riot. Things got to change, man, and I hope it does. So I appreciate you guys, rocking with me, and I'm gonna get this content out to you guys. Uh, try to get some more out there. Like I said, I got some equipment coming in. Try to get this a little more professional, and I'm gonna be looking to do a couple interviews with some people. So, man, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for rocking with me, and I'll catch you on the next one again. Hit that like button, man. Leave a comment. Hit that bell and that notification bell. That way, you'll be aware of when I drop some more content. And I appreciate you guys. Stay safe and stay humble. All right.